Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter.
This is our full American Idol reaction to tonight's episode. I say this because we've already done a video just pouring on the praise for Arthur Gunn's version of Is This Love, one of my favorite songs.
It was really good. We'll link that for you below.
Yeah.
If you are Arthur Gunn fan and you're looking to talk about him, we have that video for you below.
Luckily, there's also a lot of other really good people on the show right
is.
now. And I mean, while I think Arthur is a frontrunner, or maybe even the frontrunner at this point, there are a lot of other people who have a lot of potential. And Idol has also thrown at us a completely bizarre and kind of inexplicable twist where they're just sort of like, okay, Grace, okay, Lauren, you guys don't have all the, but we're not going to make a decision. We're going to have America make a decision instead.
It's a really smart move for the show because it gets everybody voting, getting used to voting and starting the voting. So, you know, good on you guys, but really you should have just made a choice and to pick somebody.
You're turning all the country people on each other, really, with this. It's what it actually feels kind of like. But before we talk about everybody in this video, including some other standouts, if you like this discussion, remember to give us a like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Which, by the way, some of those standouts include Franklin Boone, Kimmy Gabriella, Sophia Wackerman, and all right, let's start though.
And also Dylan. Dylan went through. Just in case you were worried last week that he wasn't going through, that the joke is nobody was worried, of course. He was going through. He is a full package. He's an idol. I absolutely wasn't shocked.
No.
And I'm sure nobody else out there was either.
I don't know how you could be shocked by that. Dylan is just really, really good.
He's excellent.
And, you know, Grace and Lauren, they're both also really good. And I think one of the things that's kind of interesting with Idol is that I don't know if they're just sort of like, you know what, people are already getting 8 country singers a season on The Voice. We don't need as much country on Idol, but there really isn't that much country that is sort of within the top 20 at this point.
No, there really isn't this season, but, you know, they both did do very well. And I mean, I'll say it. I am not a country singing person. I'm not into country music. It's just not anything that I grew up on. It's not that I dislike it. I just haven't had a lot of exposure to it in my family. There was more of the Arthur Gunn type music. So CCR, Bob Dylan, all that kind of stuff. But I really liked both their performances. But for me, I'm leaning a bit more into Grace. She was the first country singer this season that really just like grabbed me right away.
Then to me, I'm like going the other direction. I'm more on team, I like Grace, but I'm more on team Lauren right now. I think just...
I hope we're helping you make your decision.
Yeah, I know.
Where we're both on opposite teams here.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, what can you do? I think that I really liked Lauren's last performance in Hollywood Week. I liked 2 More Bottles of Wine. It felt really rustic, and it's like I like kind of that rustic country. I'm not a big country guy, but I'm just sort of like, you know, if you're going for it, like go all in, like go hardcore with it. I like the instrumentation. I liked her stage presence a lot. And really, that to me was one of the sort of the big takeaways I got from this episode overall, is that you had a lot of people, in particular, a lot of women who had really big commanding stage presences that weren't timid or afraid, and they actually went up and sold the songs they were doing, which is just so nice. I don't want this to seem like they are a bunch of people performing on a talent show. I want it to feel like they are, you know, actual music stars in the making.
Yeah, the women really brought it tonight. They saved a lot of the... There's a lot of really just powerful women in this competition in general, but they saved a lot of really big, beautiful voices for this particular episode.
And honestly, I don't even... there's some decisions I didn't even really like that much from the judges, because I thought that Shannon was great, and yet they decided, okay, we had that whole montage of some of the younger contestants, and there's some of them I thought in there were pretty good, but I would have replaced Shannon with one of them. But you know, Sophia Wackerman's one of the younger people this season too, though, and I would not have replaced her.
No, she was really good. She had a lot of positive energy that was coming out in her performance of Levels. I had a lot of fun watching her tonight.
this was my favorite performance that she's done. It was sort of interesting. She had like the glasses look when she was in the confessional. It was kind of like Clark Kent and Superman when she was up on the stage. But
and also she's flinging her hair.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just like, wow, all right.
Is this the same person who was in the confessionals? It felt like she really embodied something different, which is kind of what you want.
I love that. I mean, we saw that with Just Sam last time, and then we'll also talk about Kimmy in this, which seems to be sort of a little bit of what the judges were talking about with her. And Sophia brought that sort of, okay, this is who I am, and now this is who I am on stage. And I was just like, wow, all right, it's cool.
I think as someone who has no hair to do this with, I'm always very impressed when people manage to incorporate that into their act. So I'm like, all right. You do that. She got my attention more, I think, tonight than any other time, because I feel like on the show so much, it has been about, oh, your last name is not perfect. Change your last name. It's like that was the narrative for her every other episode.
Yeah, it's true. And then she came out and she did this, and she really came into her own with it. And even when she did that first hair flip, you saw Katie's face, and she was just like, okay, we're here. This is good. And it was.
It was good. I think pretty much everything that I think a lot of people did a really good job tonight. I think she impressed me the most in terms of like where I was for her leading into the episode. I will say this about Kimmy though, and what Katie had to say. I actually don't really fully agree. And I've actually remembered Kimmy for most of the show, and I don't know if that's because just they have spotlighted her a lot, but I didn't have any problem remembering Kimmy at all.
No, I've remembered Kimmy as well, to be honest. Her voice is one of the best in the competition. I remember the first time that I heard it. It was an interesting comment that she made about that, when she was just kind of like, basically, you have one of the best voices in this competition, but you're completely forgettable, because that's pretty much what she said. And I was just like, what is she saying? I can't believe the words that are coming out of her mouth. That's crazy.
I'm gonna try to put on a tinfoil hat here and try to think about what Katie's doing. Maybe Katie senses that Kimmy could be the winner of American Idol, and she is like, you know what, I know I'm putting you through, but I want to find a way to challenge you, to get you up to that next level. How can you do that? Maybe it is finding a way to have even more personality in your song choices. Like, I still feel like Kimmy is ridiculously good. Like, really, really good.
The thing is Kimmy is really, really good. And what I thought maybe she was trying to do, Katie, was just to push her to kind of let go a little bit more, so that everybody kind of can see that different side, like we saw with Sophia, where it's like, oh, in the confessionals, she's all like, you know, not really a lot of makeup, got her glasses on, just, hey, man, here I am. And then on stage, she's flipping her hair and being, you know, like huge performance. And I think maybe she's trying to pull that out of Kimmy as well.
I think so, and because it's still in my head, I'm really thinking a lot of, okay, I think Kimmy is probably one of the top 5 women who is out there right now. I think her and Just Sam collectively, they're probably the 2 women that have been on the screen the most this season.
Yep.
I think she's going to be memorable. I think that it's all, like everybody else, it's all just going to be based sort of on song choice and what happens.
Yeah, it's still, the thing is, I think, is that it's, yeah, we're getting into the top 20, but it's still, there's so many people right now that I think in general, when you've sat there and you've seen voice after person after voice after person, that we don't know when Katie made this comment. Was it at the end of the day after she had just watched 40 performances? And maybe she was like, oh man, yeah, that's right. Okay, Kimmy's still in this competition. Oh, well, maybe it's on Kimmy that her personality's not out there enough. I don't know.
The funny thing to me is that I feel like the judges wanted to go there with Franklin Boone a little bit too, and I don't think they went all the way, because I think Franklin's voice and his tone is so incredible, but he's so mild-mannered, and I think some of this probably comes from being a teacher and sort of, you know, he probably doesn't want to go crazy up there on stage or anything else.
Well, of course, he's a teacher, he's a dad, you know, he's a role model, so kind of, I think it's just like being an idol or an American Idol. You don't need to be crazy and dancing and shimmering, and it doesn't have to be that huge all the time. You can have personalities that are a little more laid back, like Franklin, like Kimmy, that are going to go out there and just kill a song, give a great performance, let us hear their voice. I disagree with what Katie is saying, where she's like, oh, it can't just be about a voice. No, I think it can be just about a voice. If the person behind the voice is someone that you really connect with and that they're just a good person, there's something really humble about them, someone that you can look up to as an idol because behind the voice is someone you can look up to.
I think it's about what the voice means. I think it is about if, for example, Franklin can move you, and I think he has moved me at times this season. I think he has just a really natural connection to a lot of the stuff he does. I think he doesn't need to be this sort of like all over the stage crazy performer. But he needs to come out and be the best version of Franklin that he can be. I think everyone needs to sort of understand what their strengths are. And I think, Kimmy, she probably still has a little ways to go to get there fully. She's still really, really young. Yep. And I think Franklin, he's kind of at a point where I think he sort of hit that groove and figured it out. And I think for him now it's about, okay, how can I find music that's going to channel who I really am? But I think musically, he's just, he and Arthur are just so cool. Like, they are like two of the coolest people on this season to me.
Oh, Franklin's really cool. And I actually really dig how sort of mild-mannered he is, and that he's like, oh, I'm a dad of a daughter, I'm gonna sing Daughters. I was like, oh, I like this. And he is a music teacher, so I don't know, he's someone that I really like. I don't need him to get pulled out more personality. I think his personality is just fine. I like it a lot, and I like what he's doing. I'm really glad that he's gone through.
I am too. I really, while I have some issues here and there with, I think, the roster of women that they put on, I think there's a couple of better choices they could have made. I'm all right with the guys. I think the guys, they did a really good job. You have a lot of different sort of people on here, and you've got somebody like Franklin, and you've got a Francisco, and you've got an Arthur, and you've got a Louie. Like, there's a lot of different musical diversity in there. Mm-hmm. I think we're in for what is hopefully going to be a great lineup of shows whenever we do get them. That's kind of the thing. We don't know when we're going to get them.
That's kind of where we are right now, guys. This was the last show that was kind of in the can, ready to go. Live shows, we're in a weird time, man. So we're going to have to wait and see what they're going to figure out. If they're going to be able to figure out something. Is everybody going to be singing from their bedrooms? I don't know. We'll see. Is it going to have to wait?
The only thing I think Idol's doing like these This Is Me specials, but I don't really, I'm sure that maybe we'll have highlights of everything we've seen so far. I don't know if there's going to be that much that's new. We'll keep our eyes peeled on it, but obviously we'll keep our eyes peeled if we have more details as well. Mm-hmm. But overall, what do you guys think about the top 20 of American Idol? And, I guess top 19 right now, plus either
either Grace or Lauren, yeah.
Who do you want to see of those two? Let us know in the comments. And if you do like this video, remember to give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the store. And we'll see you here next time.